Interim IBF champ no more. Jaron Ennis has been elevated to full IBF champion. Now I know some of y'all hate the elevation process. Y'all like to use the term email champion when this happens. But trust me, before the elevation process from interim to full champ takes place, there is a process and a time period and things must happen. So let's talk about it. What are the rules when it comes to interim champion? Matter of fact, let's take a look at it. I'll pull it up and show it to y'all. Read along and follow me. The champion of a particular weight division is temporarily unable to defend his championships because of medical, legal, or other reasons beyond the competitor's control. When this case occurs, two highly ranked contenders may fight for an interim championship of the same weight division, leading to two champions existing in the same weight division simultaneously. Once the original champion can return, at the discretion of the sanctioning bodies or promotion concerned, they must defend their title against the interim champion, who will relinquish the interim title to fight for the full world title. If the original champion cannot return, refuses to defend their title, or transfer to a different weight division, 154, the interim champion is promoted to full championship status. Now I know y'all already talking about it's not fair to Bud. He just got those belts only a couple of months. How you gonna strip him? And he got a rematch clause with Errol Spence Jr. Well, here's the thing. The most dangerous thing in the social media game is a microphone. Bud has been on record stating he has no interest in fighting the current interim champion, Jaron Ennis, and he has been talking about transferring to a different weight class, fighting Canelo Alvarez at 168, even talked about Jermell Charlo at 154, and agreeing to fight Errol Spence at 154. So the IBF like, yeah, okay, you got this rematch clause, that's cool, but what after that? What are your plans? He already making it known that he has no interest in fighting Jaron Ennis, who is the interim champion. He also making it known, he being Terence Bud Crawford, that he's transferring to higher weight classes for bigger, pardon my pun, fish to fry. He looking for payday, and I don't blame him. He's 35. He at the point of the career where he want to cash out. I can't blame him. He's a 2X undisputed champion. He earned that right. But at the same time, the IBF is like, all right, run me that title, dog. You cannot hold up the sport of boxing. We're in a generation now to where the champions are squatters when it comes to defending their title. They looking for the big payday. They looking for what makes sense to them. When you're a champion of a sport, a combat sport, you take on all comers. That's your job as champion, to prove that you're worthy of the crown, to prove that you are at the top of the mountain and can't nobody take you off of it. But especially in boxing, we got away from that. You know, you prolong your mandatories, you give them lump sums of money to step aside so you can fight who you want. So I don't blame the IBF. Move the sport along. Boxing has been frozen by this generation of fighters refusing to fight the top guys based on what they feel like they can make. Now, it is the business side of boxing. They do have to earn a living, but at the same time, when you become champion, you have a commitment to face your mandatories, not pass the buck along, buy them off, and hoping, you know, you can negotiate terms to fight who you want to fight. And that's where we are in boxing. That's what's killing the sport. And it's also up to Jaron Ennis, who's a full turn, or I should say the full champion, to prove everybody right that feels that he's the best at 147, because you can't say it's Terence Crawford unless he stays, but he's not giving any clue. His eyes are set at 154 that we're aware of. And I'm pretty sure he's thankful, but no, I ain't gonna speak for another man, what he thinking. From my perspective, he should be thankful that the other three didn't pile on and strip him of all his belts, talking about transferring to another weight class. And then I know y'all got the Canelo Alvarez argument. This guy moving up and down, no one's touching him, nobody's threatening to take his belts, but that's the shady side of boxing as well. I'm not saying the sport doesn't need to be cleaned up. I'm not saying the sport doesn't need to be cleaned up, because it clearly does, and it has its issues. But when a sanctioning body in boxing does the right thing, we got to commend her for him, not knock him for it. And it's not like Terence can't negotiate with Jaron. He doesn't want to, because he's in a different place of his career. He doesn't want to fight a contender. And by him stating that he's never had a tough fight, I'm pretty sure deep down inside, he knows this is going to be a tough fight between him and Jaron Boots Ennis, and him being 35, him being Bud that is, I don't know if he want to take that level of challenge. So far he has a career that he's been unscathed from serious injury. Not saying that Jaron Boots Ennis will hurt him severely, but it's the fight game. Things happen. The longer you stay in it, the more at risk you become. So it is what it is. I'm glad the IBF took it upon themselves to do so. I'm glad one of the sanctioning bodies saying, hey, quit squatting on these titles, because that's what these champions has been doing in this era, squatting on the titles, waiting for who they want to fight instead of going according to the rules and regulations of the combat sport, which is professional boxing. I'm glad the IBF said, run that belt, homeboy. Give us that strap and let some of these guys fight for it so we can get this money moving and putting on a show for the fans. Let them see our champion in action. That's all I got for now. I'm Big Jim OG. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'm out.